to the last section of revenue management of content. Part 6, we're looking at pricing. So pricing is everything that we've learnt beforehand, all the factors that you have to take into account of revenue managers. This comes into the different pricing strategies that we can use to maximise revenue. Okay, so there's actually quite a few different strategies, but it's all based on that theory that you've learnt in the last few parts. And if you adjust one thing, something else is impacted. So, pricing. Revenue managers, going back, before revenue management even occurred, there was a fixed price. Well, now we can have what's called dynamic pricing. Dynamic pricing, changing pricing. But it's actually just more than that. You actually have to consider 5 factors. So I've got it in the PowerPoint. So when considering setting a price, there are 5 factors you need to consider. Firstly, you have to look at your costs and markup. Now we haven't covered this in the videos, but costs and markup, you have to look at, how much does it cost to have each additional guest? And it's easy in, say, a restaurant, where you're maybe selling a bottle of beer, what was that one beer, plus the employee's wages, what's the cost of supplying that extra one bottle of beer? So that is the cost of markup consideration. So that's one consideration we have to do. Because you can't sell at a loss. You've got to make sure you price competitively and make a profit on each item. So you need to consider your fixed costs and variable costs. When are you going to break even to cover all your expenses? Got an example there, if a shirt for sale in a shop is $60, but the cost of producing it is only $25, well, the markup or the gross profit is about $35. So that's a good indication that yes, you're covering your variable costs, but what about the fixed cost for the shop? You have to pay the lease, you've got to pay for staff, you've got to pay for electricity. So you've got to think about that when you're looking at pricing. And that's more an overall budget thing. Okay, then you've got to think about supply and demand. Look at what's appropriate for the market, and then think about that pricing point. So coming back to, you've got your supply curve and your demand curve. If you set the price too high, that means demand will not be very much. If you set the price too low, demand will be very high, but you may have not actually been able to cater for everyone wanting to demand for your hotel room. So it's thinking about getting to that equilibrium, that perfect point in the middle where you're able to set the price at perfect level, where you don't have what's called unsatisfied demand or unfulfilled demand. So just monitoring where that is. And if you set the price too high, again, same thing. Our occupancy is a bit low. Maybe we need to reduce prices or target our segments a bit better. So it gives you a general indication of where you should be. That supply and demand curve, though, that is always in the background of economic theory. So even though you might not be able to get the exact price, that's always going to happen. You up the price, demand is going to go down. You lower the price, demand is going to go up. It's just what level you want that to occur. In PowerPoint, we need to think about value given to customers. Now, value is equal to, I'll take this off the board. This is what helps customers make a decision to buy. Value is equal to the perceived benefits minus the price or the cost to them, the cost paid. Note that it is perceived benefits, so it could be marketing, marketing those extra things that help the customer think that they're getting a really good deal out of it. So what extra things could you increase the perceived benefits? Now it might be throwing in freebies as well, throwing in an extra or a discount voucher or maybe a combination package. All of these increase the benefits so that when they pay the price, that is, they see value and they purchase. So in class, we talk about, so you can either, to increase value, so if we want value to go up, you can either increase the benefit or decrease the price. The problem with decreasing the price is that our profit is affected. Sometimes this is better because it's actually more cost effective to increase the benefits, or maybe just increasing, it could be real benefits or it could be just perceived benefits. Maybe it's the type of marketing that you're doing, actually putting out there that it's actually a good deal that they're getting. Okay, so that is the value proposition. Another part is looking at where our competitors are. Think back to our competitive pricing. We don't operate in isolation. You do actually have to look at our competitors. So this is where we did the price value matrix. We're in the middle, and all our competitors are spread around us. We have to look at where our competitors are, who's offering a similar service or slightly different value, quality, and that way we can actually compare to see whether we're actually pricing things correctly. Because if we have, for example, if we have a competitor hotel who is exactly the same value, so the same quality, but charging a whole lot less, then this will impact our customers' decisions, and they will choose this other hotel instead because they see more value in that hotel. Okay, we get into some other pricing strategies. Firstly, we can price differently to different segments. So we think about what different segments are there. And we talk about there's a leisure segment, commercial segment, other segments out there. What is there? What different pricing can we do? Okay. Sometimes for a leisure segment, the demand curve could be quite flat. But for a corporate or commercial customers, they're not very price sensitive. So here, the leisure segment, yes, it's good for filling rooms, but might not be so good for making profit on each one. The corporates, they might be willing to pay more per room, so they are not so price sensitive or price insensitive. So, pricing to different segments. What can we do? Okay, finally, pricing based on different lead times. So think about search for a flight, pick a destination anywhere in the world, and then have a look at how much that one ticket is, maybe a year from now, 9 months from now, 3 months, 1 week, 1 day from now. How does that price change? And the airline industry is very good at this, where they actually price differently based on lead time. How many days out will someone book? And very often, the price will increase the closer you get to the time of booking. So they want to fill the plane with cheap seats, maybe a year out or so, and then as we get closer to the actual day of departure or day of stay, then the price keeps on going up. So that's priced differently based on lead time. But to make it happen properly, they need to know about forecasting. They're going to want to know how many people on average are probably going to fly on a particular day. And so that's where forecasting demand is very important in that decision. They're going to look at what flights are on, and how many people they think are going to come through on that day. And the airline industry knows this historically. They just look back through all their data and they know historically, yep, those many people probably going to come on that day. Then they look forward and go, well, okay, we're probably going to expect this in the next year. And so they can set prices based on their forecasting. So on a low demand day, they might set lower priced fares. Whereas on a high demand day, they might set higher prices. Got some examples there on the PowerPoint that we'll go through in class. Some of these are high demand days or high demand flights. Some of them are low demand days or flights. And some of them, unfortunately, you won't be able to predict so well in the future because, unfortunately, events happen in the future and your forecast of the demand will change. And so you might have to reforecast what's going to happen. Okay, so the same thing can happen in the hotel industry. We can look back on our records and go, well, historically, has this been a busy time? Is it going to be a not busy time? We can look at how many people have booked in, did we achieve 100% occupancy, and think about, what is going to be the best pricing model for that time. And sometimes, if it's a very peak time, it might be looking at just selling only a few of those rooms at particular prices and then upping the price to ensure you get the maximum revenue for that time. At low demand times, you might have to do more in terms of pricing, or you might just have to do more packages to attract customers as well. Another thing to think about, and this is in the PowerPoint, is the booking curve. Booking curve sort of works in with forecasting as well. This just plots how many people have booked over time. So this is day 0, or this is at the day of stay. And what will happen is, this is the number of days before. So maybe it's 365 days. Over time, this will keep on going up till hopefully you achieve 100% occupancy. Now this is something to monitor when you're revenue managers and to look at, because though at each certain number of days out, maybe it's 30, maybe it's 60, 90, at each particular number of days out, the hotels will have targets of where they think they should be booked out. So if they find that, well actually no, the curve has gone down, we haven't actually booked in as many as we thought we would at this point, maybe that would mean that a pricing adjustment going down might be needed. Alternatively, if the booking curve is going really high, so maybe the booking curve goes up like this and you are fully booked out 2 months in advance, well, maybe you set the price a bit too low. So it's trying to achieve that middle ground where you achieve 100% occupancy just based on that curve. Now, each hotel will have its own data on this. Each hotel will know where it wants to sit, how many days out, but this is a very important tool. And it can just indicate, is pricing too low, pricing too high, do we need to adjust the pricing, or maybe keep back some rooms to be able to release later. So this is about quantity control, which I'll get to in just a second. Okay, other thing to think about on the PowerPoint is, realised demand versus unconstrained demand. Realised demand is how many people actually come and stay, whereas unconstrained demand is how many people could have actually come and stayed if you hadn't run out of rooms. The idea is that sometimes 100% occupancy is good, but how many more could have come and stayed? And that is what you miss out. So if you've got excess people wanting to book in, then you should have probably managed the pricing or room placement and actually gone a bit better to ensure that, maybe we should have priced a bit higher to make sure that our unconstrained demand is met. Well, we have no unconstrained demand. Now, just the fact, a lot of hotels don't even try to get to 100% booked out because they know that they're going to have some walk-ins come those last few days, or late minute bookings. And these are the profitable ones. These are the profitable segments that they know that they're leaving it to the last minute, so they're willing to pay more. And so, leaving some rooms open for that is also a good thing. Okay, other pricing strategies. You can implement other pricing strategies. You can, this is probably more from the front office rotation. You can have minimum nights, number of stays. You can do bundles. But you can also do other strategies like quantity releases on certain days as well. So not releasing all the rooms for sale for a particular night and keeping some of them back as well, and then releasing them later. So these are some of the quantity strategies as well. So we talked in class about some other strategies, and you'll find them on Canvas, some of that discussion as well. Okay, so this is the most important part of revenue management, looking at pricing, looking at trying to maximise that price to different segments and trying to maximise revenue that a hotel can achieve. Hopefully all the tools sort of accumulate and help you understand the pricing and help understand how to set the best pricing and the pricing strategy in a hotel. Some hotels don't have revenue management implemented, maybe because they think it's too hard. There are some computer systems out there that can do it for them, can help adjust pricing and all that. It can be very profitable though, so if you are in the position of owning your own hotel or motel, and you are in a high demand area, it can be a very profitable thing. So, hope you've enjoyed the topic of revenue management. This has been the last video. We're about to do a little practical part where we get to practice this in a couple of little templates, where you get to practice a scenario and see if you can actually maximise that revenue for your hotel. Okay, thank you very much.